Yo, YouTube, what is going on? Yo, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking out this video. This is your first time checking me out. You already gotta know what you gotta do, man. Go ahead, like the video, drop a comment, interact with me and all that. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's gonna definitely help this channel grow and get the video out to more people. And thank you for everyone that have subscribed so far. We're still knocking on the door to get to 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you're doing that. Let's get into today's video. Alright, so in today's video, I'm gonna talk about my experience with driving a stick shift every day. I'm gonna give you the good and the bad, man. I'm gonna tell you all of that, so that way you can kind of internalize it for yourself and think about, do I really want to do it? Do I not want to do it? Or if you're on the fence about it, and just give y'all some insight of what it feels like to do it from my standpoint. Hopefully y'all can hear me over this wind. So let me just hop in the car and give y'all a little cockpit view and some things for y'all to look into. I'm gonna go ahead and close the door. That wind out there going crazy. Hopefully y'all can see me. So here we are. 6-speed. This ain't no fake 6-speed. You see the little, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 God, all that kind of stuff, bro. So y'all know, real 6-speed. Open this real quick. 3 pedals, real 6-speed. No fake, no faking over here. So a couple things to notice when you're behind the wheel of a 6-speed. So the cockpit of it is very is very driver oriented. Like if you look here, the stick right here, the gear shift right here is pointed directly over towards the driver. So it's aimed towards you. You can see how I have my arm right here and how I'm resting. I do have a video where I talk about why these cup holders are in a bad spot. I got a previous video on that. Also got a video on how I learned to drive a 6-speed, which I won't get into. I'm just gonna give you my insight of driving one of these all the time. So you got the gear shift angled towards you, all that. And let's go down to the pedals here. So you got your pedals, they come with these type of pedals on. I know the automatics, you can put these on, but these already come on here. And I got to vacuum a little bit and all that. One thing to look out for with this car and the clutch pedal, I will say this. Actually, let me put this thing back in gear because I don't want this thing going anywhere. Make sure we all good. So one thing about this car you have to be wary of is this clutch pedal is really, really stiff. I didn't notice it really until I drove another car that was a 6-speed that wasn't a Dodge or a Mopar product. I was driving and clutch feel really soft. This thing is really stiff. So if you are caught in traffic or anything like that, it's going to take a little bit of effort to push it in and pushing out and all that type of stuff. So if you are driving and you run into traffic on a regular basis, you want to make sure you want to think about that, because your legs gonna get tired and you might get aggravated driving this if you're in traffic a lot, especially having a very, very, very stiff clutch pedal. Another thing with having a 6-speed is the parking brake on it. This is something I've seen happen on a lot of 6-speed cars. I've been reading up about it. With the car, the parking brake, which I think is basically on this wheel, it will have a tendency over time to not hold as tight, so you have to go in and readjust it. I'm not sure how long it takes for that to happen, but I have noticed it a little bit on mine where it doesn't hold as strongly. I usually leave it in gear when I park it anyway, but that's something else you want to think about. If you have automatic, you don't really have to worry about that. But with the 6-speed, the parking brake is going to become your friend when you're parking and all that type of stuff, or working with the car. So you want to make sure that thing holds. So that's something you have to look out for as well. Make sure your parking brake is all good. Also, with the 6-speed, with the manual car and all that, there are some mods. Hope you can hear me over the wind. There are some mods you can do to help improve your driving experience. I drive the 6-speed. So let me hop in the car and show y'all a couple things here. So first thing you should do is really easy. You ain't gonna be able to see it here, but it's a very easy mod and very cheap mod to do. It's called Skip Shift Eliminator. From the factory, when you hit, let me close the door because I think this thing is gonna mess me up. Well, let me do this. Let me close this door. Do this number right here. All right. So one thing with this car from factory, and Dodge does this on their vehicle, I think some other vehicles do it as well. They have this kind of lockout in the transmission for emission purposes and whatnot. So what will happen is when you hit a certain speed and a certain RPM, when you go to shift to second, which is here, it won't let you go to second. It will do this number. It will lock you out, not let you go, and it'll force you to go to fourth. And depending on the situation you're in, you're trying to pull out into the road or something like that, you don't want to be going first to fourth and don't know you can't go to second. That will really, really mess you up. When I first got the car, I didn't know about it. I ran into it, and it happens randomly. It was hard for me to reproduce and all that, but you can get a skip shift eliminator, which will stop it from blocking you out of second, so you can go to second anytime you feel like, instead of the transmission telling you nope, don't go to second, you gotta go to fourth and all that. All right, the next mod you can do to enhance your your manual driving experience. Now this one's gonna probably be one of the more expensive ones, but it's worth it. And I'm sitting here talking about it's worth it, and I don't even have it, but I know how it feels. You can get a Barton shifter to replace this whole shifter mechanism. So what the Barton shifter does, if you can see here, this is how long the throw is. So I'm in first, but I'm going to second. Look how long that is. That is a really, really long throw. Now getting a Barton shifter, what that would do is make that whole motion from here to here, like feel like here. It'll feel like that. It will reduce the throwing motion on that. So what will happen in that case, you get faster shifting, especially if you're racing and things like that. More precise shifting. Is really notchy. It gets right into that gear. You don't have a lot of play in it, like right here. Well, if I put it here, even with it in gear, I have a little bit of play in it. With a Barton, you don't get that. It's really precise. It will run you maybe just under $400, depends, somewhere around there. But I felt it in other 6-speed cars, and they're probably watching this and like, you got to get a Barton, I know I've been slacking. Yeah, y'all can roast me on that one, but it is a worthwhile mod to do. Now, this next mod is something I haven't done, and this is, I mean, there's mixed opinions on how this mod works. So with the newer cars and manuals, they have a valve that, for this clutch pedal, it slows down the release of it. So when you're going to shift gears, it doesn't shock the whole transmission, and therefore it saves your clutch in there and make it last longer. You can go into that valve and remove some kind of bushing or something you can remove out of it, some kind of rubber seal. And what that would do, that will eliminate that delay, so that way you have more control on how fast that comes out. A lot of people say it feels better when you remove it, but keep in mind, if you're not a very experienced manual driver, that could increase the wear on your clutch, because it's now coming out faster and you have to have more control over it. Now, more control over the clutch. Now remember me when I said that this clutch here is really stiff. So if you have to have more control on letting it out slowly, you may get tired of doing that. So that clutch delay valve helps slows that up, so you don't get as tired of letting that clutch out. So it kind of helps you a little bit. Like I said, is it good to do? Is it not good to do? Personally, this is my first 6-speed car. I'm happy with how it drives now. If you're into racing and things like that, you may want to do that so the clutch is more predictable and releases when you want it, instead of the system kind of controlling all of that. Now, another thing on newer cars, I can't speak for a lot of other brands, but I know Dodge has this, and this is something that people may or may not want to use, but it is called hill assist. Let me see if I can pull it up here for you guys. All right, so the other feature that these cars have is something called hill assist. And I will show you where that is in here. Whatever. Hill assist, so hill start assist. So on the newer cars, I can't speak for other brands, but I know this one has it. And some of y'all might flame if I have this on to begin with. So hill assist. Quick story. So when I first got this car, I had no clue that this even existed. I knew that starting on hills in the stick shift would be way harder to do. And so when I think the day after I got this car, I was still kind of learning how it drove. Keep in mind, I did know how to drive a manual. This is my first time daily in one when I got this car. So I was on the hill, car behind me, and I'm like, man, I can't roll into the car behind me. So you know what I did? Man, I hit the clutch, I hit the gas really hard. I burnt out, man. Not on purpose, but just to make sure I didn't roll backwards. But I didn't know this has it. So hill start assist. So pretty much if you're on a hill and you need to go, what this will do is, if you have it in first gear and you have the clutch pushed in, you can take your foot off the brake, and what it would do, the car will delay moving. Like the brakes will hold, I don't know if it's the brakes or the transmissions, one of those will help hold the car in place for maybe about 2 to 3 seconds to give you time to get the car moving before it starts rolling backwards. That is a really, really good assist to have for someone that's not, as experienced as driving a manual, and it's very forgiving. And I know you could turn this off or on. I just left it on. Y'all can say what y'all want about me. Y'all can argue with me in the comments below, but I just left it on. So doesn't mean I don't know. Okay, I can't say it doesn't mean I don't know how to drive. I know how to drive a 6-speed. Just, sometimes, I get lazy, and I just want the extra comfort. But say what you want. I left this part on. All right, so hopefully y'all can hear me. So I am driving, and y'all better not be talking about my mall walker 9s that I got on. Yeah, these are the mall walkers. Where these when you go to the mall like at 10 o'clock in the morning, so you can walk around the mall. So these are my mall walkers, right? So this is kind of me on the freeway with driving the 6-speed here. This is just, I won't say normal, but close to normal as possible. Alright, so if I'm driving, I need to drop the gear or whatnot, so that's kind of how I downshift. So what I would do is, I'm pulling the car out of gear, and then when I pull it out of gear, I hit the gas to bring the RPM up, and hit the clutch. So it looks like this when I downshift. So I'm gonna go to fourth to third here. So that's how it looks. Like that. And the reason I bring the RPM is the air on, I'm cooking here. Hope y'all can still hear me. So the reason I have to bring the RPMs up is because if I just put it in gear without bringing RPMs up, then it'll bog the engine down and you're gonna have a bad time. So here I go with a downshift. Sometimes, like if I like rolling down the hill, like I gotta do too much rolling. You can hear I'm not doing anything. Like I'm not in gear or anything. So now, if I'm in neutral, like I gotta put it back in gear. So usually what I have to do is there. All right. So when I take an exit, how do I slow down? Right. So just want to show you how to do that a little bit. So typically I don't shift it or anything when I, go slow down for a take an exit. This is one of those exits I gotta turn all the way around type thing, kind of roundabout. So I don't really shift it sometimes, but if I do, this is what I would do. So if I'm going in it, and I would just want to get it. Notice I hit the gas before I shifted, so the engine RPMs can match back up. So that's called rev matching right there. I know it looks busy, but man, I tell you, this is way funner than just driving automatic, man. I'm telling you. And all the people that say, no, it ain't, man, you can't drive a manual. I don't care. I don't care what you got to say about that. But I do, but not that much. But I do care. Yeah. So to wrap up this video, to daily drive this car, yeah, it definitely can be done. It's definitely not going to be as easy as driving an automatic. You're not going to be able to multitask. You're not going to be able to text and drive, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. You shouldn't be texting and driving. Anyway, it's got Bluetooth and I can control the phone through that. But if you got Apple CarPlay, you should be able to, to handle all that anyway. I don't have the Apple CarPlay, unfortunately, but yeah, it can be done. You really don't have to think about like your traffic and your situation where you want to do it. Now, a good thing about getting a stick shift is the fact it is cheaper than the automatic. You will save a few $1,000s just by getting the 6-speed versus the automatic. So that's something else to think about if you can do it. Another good thing now, as far as theft is concerned, Dodge is one of the most stolen vehicles, but having a 6-speed can help lessen that chance of that happening. Yeah, it's easier to get in a neutral, but a lot of people can't drive a 6-speed to start with. So that kind of takes out some of the issues you may have with someone else trying to drive your car, trying to take and things like that. Like even in my circle of friends, not even a lot of them even know how to drive a 6-speed. So that's good and bad because if they need to drive my car, they can't drive it, which, depends on how you look at it. But I know some people like, well, someone need to drive your car in an emergency, man. Look, if emergency happen, man, call the ambulance or something, man. Like, you don't need to drive my car no way. So that's what it is. Let me go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you for tuning in. If you got any questions about anything I did not cover in the video, feel free to drop a comment below. Now, we definitely will get back to you. We'll catch you on the next one. We out of this one. Peace.